Hello everyone, Professor Toybox here with another viewer request. This one comes from Nels Nelson, one of the admins of the Disney Infinity Avengers group on Facebook. Nels wants to see more of my Neverland toy box. We visited this once before in my Disneyland toy box video, but because I had so much to show in that video, we weren't able to spend a lot of time in here. And so today I'm going to give you a closer look at this toy box, which is my take on the Peter Pan's flight ride at Disneyland. And to help me out, I've asked Tinkerbell to join me. She seemed like the perfect tour guide to me. So to start with, we'll take a look at this little starting area here. My original inspiration for this came from a video I saw on Diz Explorer 03's channel on YouTube. And I tried to recreate that toy box as closely as I could, but unfortunately, I think they're using a console with more memory than I had, and so although I was barely able to put in most of Neverland, I didn't have enough room for the London area of the toy box. So instead, I put in this little area here. It's kind of a little room that's similar to what you start out at on the ride. And when you come over here and push the button, these two ships show up. These are from the Captain Hook's ship Power Disc. That was a limited Toys R Us exclusive, so it's kind of rare. And when you push the button, those show up, and it starts checkpoint path tracking on the path over here. And you're able to have the vehicle generator put down vehicles from Power Discs, just in case you didn't know. If we come over here and look at the button, so when I press the button, it comes over to the vehicle generator, and it gives you categories of vehicles it can put down, and one of them that would show up under here would be for whatever Power Discs you have. So if you have that Power Disc down, you can select that vehicle, and then later on you do not have to have that Power Disc on here in order to generate those vehicles. So that's kind of a handy little thing. And then instead of having to fly that all the way back from Neverland, I put in a teleporter over there, which puts you out here, and then you can come down the stairs and go back through that toy box door there to get back to Fantasyland in the main Disneyland toy box. So for right now, I think I'm going to go ahead and fly over to Neverland. I've already flown through these hoops here one time with the ship in the Disneyland video, so I don't think I need to show that again. My main purpose with this was to kind of give you a similar feel to the ride, and as you fly through these, it does the checkpoint path tracking, and it kind of gives you a nice look at the sky here for the toy box. And I'm using, of course, the Peter Pan Power Discs for this. That gives you the sky box and the terrain textures over here in Neverland. And I probably put this a little further away than I needed to, but since I don't really have too many other opportunities to use that Captain Hook's ship, it just seemed like a really good opportunity to put in a little flying game with that. So when you come out over here at the end of that path, it puts you into Neverland. And I'll try to go slow and give you a good look at this. I suspect Nels and perhaps some others of you might want to build this in your own toy boxes. So for the beach, I'm using the Lilo and Stitch textures. I didn't have enough memory to put down the blocks with the water texture, so instead I'm using the Toy Story texture here for the water, which is static, and I can put these on some fairly large blocks which don't take up as much memory. And these textures here are the customizable plants drawer pieces that I customized using what I had off of the Peter Pan Power Disc. And of course we've got Pirate's Cove here with a pirate ship. And on the deck I've got Captain Hook. And if you try to put down any townspeople on the deck of that. You can't do it, but a little trick is you can come up here above this thing and place him, and he'll just fall down there onto the deck of the ship. So that's how I got him down there. And you can climb all over that and look around. So again, I'll try to just kind of go slow here and give you a good look at this. The other thing that the video on Diz Explorer's channel had was some nice edges on the boundaries here of the island and the water. I didn't have enough memory to put that down, so had to leave it kind of unfinished there along the edges of the water. But still pretty decent looking, and I got the majority of the island parts in here. I got some just regular palm trees in the midst of these other textures and objects. And then there's a little river that goes up through the canyon there, which we'll get a closer look at that in a minute. This part of the island is a little mini mountain, and I just used these little rounded textures, stuck 4 of them around in a loop to make that. Put down a bunch of little trees here. I'll come down here and get out of spark mode to give you a little bit better look at this, since you can't really see that from up there. Oh, here we go. So just kind of position these in here in a number of different ways to kind of make it look a little dense. And over here is a little ramp that leads up to the top of a block. And along here I got a little cliff edge and rope bridge. You can kind of look down the canyon there and see the waterfalls. I'll get you a closer look at that in a few minutes. Good look at the harbor with Captain Hook's ship. And then you come up here on the other side of this. And in case you're wondering about these blocks here, that's a single block, which the bridge just kind of fits nicely in there. And same on the other side, just flipped around. And then underneath is some little beach area that you can walk through. Same on the other side. And this is, I go ahead and pick this up. Oops. Pick it up with the B button and put it back down. You can see which pieces these are from the texture, the terrain drawer. Bunch of little climbing blocks so you can get in and out of here. And up here we have a waterfall connected to another little waterfall, connected to another of those waterfalls. And then over here is just a series of waterfalls stacked up with another one here where you can kind of come in behind. There's a little hidden area behind there. Coming up to here. So this waterfall piece here actually covers up that opening. And then these are just the mountain, some mountain pieces stacked on top of each other as best I could. And finally we got a couple little mountain peaks up on the top. And we'll come back down over here to where we were. And I got a nice little valley piece in here. Or you can run down here get onto the beach. Up here I stuck another little peak on top of a couple of these pieces here. So you can actually climb up on this thing. So there's kind of a little climbing area there. And I wanted to put some trees out over here, but just didn't have the memory for that. Then we get to Mermaid Lagoon. And these are just a collection of climbing block pieces here that are arranged around so that you can climb in and out of this. Another little waterfall there. Some more climbing pieces here. And some rocks in the middle. So that's Mermaid Lagoon. And over here is Skull Rock. Get you a good look at this. This is one big texture back here, one big block. I think I can pick this up. Yep, and then you can see that that's the stalactites cave piece. And then I built around that with these pieces here and some small blocks up here and some diagonal blocks and then just a bunch of climbing blocks around the outside. And a few more here along with the boat and a lamp. So maybe not the best looking skull rock, but it will do. I wanted to try to put some kind of rounded edge on the top of this, but I just couldn't find any terrain pieces that worked there. And then over here, coming around to the back side of the island, we got a few little pieces here from, again, the Peter Pan's terrain plant pieces that you can customize. And then over in this area is Peter Pan's lair, and there's several different levels to this. I've got the one little castle fort type piece here, which has a little cave back in there, and the ladder going up, and then another ladder up here coming off the top of that. Also got the little rope bridge piece hanging over here, so there's several ways to get up here. And then I use the little cave pieces with the well to get down in there. I've got a sidekick tree here, which I'm not really using, except that it was the closest thing I could find to the tree that serves as the marker for Peter Pan's lair in the cartoon. If I come out here and get out of spark mode, I can take you down inside here and give you a look at this. So this is just a few little cave pieces put together in a circle with a little dead end over here. Then to get out, you climb up the rope or fly. And we'll get back into spark mode here because this kind of gives you a little bit better look at this. So then coming around the side of the island, I've got a bunch of trees back here. I wanted to put more in, but again, I just didn't have the memory. And then we come out over this way on this side of the island. There's another little rounded area here. And these are the Endor trees, which seem to match what was in the movie with the pines as best I could as we're approaching the Indian camp over there. So this just kind of takes you through here with some different pines and things. And I'm trying to go slow enough so you can get a look at this, but I don't want to bore you too much. You can always pause the video and take a closer look at some of these areas to figure out what terrain pieces I'm using. Then I'm using the little ramp here that comes up to the Indian encampment, and I'm using these pieces around the edge and just a big block here in the middle. And the teepees are from the decorations drawer. This little fire pit comes from building sets 1 as part of the Ewoks tree set there. And then we come out over here onto this side of the island, back to where we started. Here's the teleporter that takes you back over to the room over there. And we've got Peter Pan. So I've got a little mission giver here, and my original idea, as I had mentioned before coming in here, was to try to follow the spirit of the ride as closely as possible, but I didn't want to just copy it, because as I ride that ride at Disneyland, it takes you around a mock-up of the island, and I always wanted to just land and get out and explore. So that's what I did here. And I set Peter Pan here up as a mission giver. And so if you talk to him, he tells you collect the coins. And if you say continue, there's some gems that show up around the island now, 10 of them to be precise. And so that gives you a reason to explore and look around, try to find those. And there's one over on Captain Hook's ship that we can go and pick up. He says collect the coins, but the text displayer, that's all it says, and there are no coin collectibles, which is kind of bizarre. So that's the closest I can do. But at any rate, I want to collect those things. And if you remember from my Random Dungeons video, number 10, Scattering Collectibles, just like there, I've set up 10 different replayers connected to a randomizer. So when you accept his mission, it randomly selects one of these replayers, which will put down the 10 gems in different locations around the island. Each replayer puts down 10 gems. So I never know exactly where they're going to be when I play this, which makes it kind of fun. And then I've got a radar marker here connected to Pan, so I can find him with the text displayer. And this is the dynamic trigger. So as I get close enough to him, within a trigger distance of 2, that triggers the mission. So Peter Pan comes up and asks you if you want to accept the mission or not. And I'll show you how to build a mission here soon in a video. So anyway, so then we can go around and try to find these. So there's one over here, and there's a counter that'll tell you how many you've found. And these are hidden all over the island. So there's one hiding over here near the Indian encampment. There's one over here in the woods. So just different things to find. There's one hiding up there. There's one on top of the mountain. Now there's no way to climb up here. If you're playing with a flying character like Tinkerbell, you can get up here. Otherwise, you need to use Captain Hook's ship, which you flew to get to Neverland. And that'll help you get up here to collect that. And I tried to hide one near each of the island's major locations. So there's one near Mermaid Lagoon over here. There's going to be one probably hiding around Skull Rock over there. Usually there's one hiding somewhere around Peter Pan's lair. And so that kind of helps you visit each of the major locations here in Neverland. So anyway, this is Neverland, and hopefully this has given you a little bit closer look at it so that you can build it. Of course, feel free to tweak it and modify it however you want. You can follow this as closely as you want, or not at all. Feel free to build it any way you'd like. And one thing I found that helped was finding some pictures on Google that told me how Neverland was laid out. There's several different maps. There's screenshots from the movie. There's some pictures that are taken from children's books. And so there's all kinds of different sources there that you can use to help you figure out how it's laid out. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and hopefully it's given you some ideas of... Oh, I guess I can't get her to fly towards the camera. But hopefully this has given you some ideas and some inspiration for maybe building a Peter Pan toy box with your own Peter Pan adventure, maybe fighting some pirates or going on a quest around here or something. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Subscribe to my channel or sign up on my blog to see what we do next time. You can find build tips and logic diagrams on my blog for the different challenges that we make, along with some other fun things. And for now, I'm going to sign off from Neverland, and I will see you next time.